Are you planning on selling your home and you have no idea what questions to be asking the realtors that you are interviewing? Well, we're going to be answering some of those for you, and we're getting into it right after this. Hey, Brad Goetz with Right at Home Realty. In this video, we're going to be covering off 10 questions that you could be asking realtors when you're interviewing them for the sale of your home. At the very end, I'm actually going to give away one question I get asked almost every single time, and I'll even give you my answer to this question. If you want to know what it's like to eat, sleep, play, live right here in the Greater Toronto Area, or you're interested in getting home buying tips or home selling tips, then this is the channel for you. So be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell. That way you're notified each and every time I do post new videos. These videos are released every single Friday, and then I also do live videos on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. So it's one of those things that if you're around while I'm going live, jump on, ask any question that you have, and I'll do my best to answer that. I cover off areas from Toronto all the way to Oshawa. Bowmanville is going to be coming to my channel in 2021, so stay tuned for that one. I have so many people that are reaching out that are looking to buy or sell here in the Greater Toronto Area, and I absolutely love it. So if you are looking to buy, sell, invest, anything right here in the Greater Toronto Area, be sure to reach out. You can call, text, email, send the carrier pigeon, whatever is easiest for you. Let's get started. The first question that you can ask a realtor when they are coming into your home would be, how long have they been in business for? And there's kind of a running joke, and it goes something along the lines of, there's nothing wrong with a new agent that a bit of experience can't fix. There's actually nothing wrong with a new agent. They might have more time to actually focus on your listing unless they're holding another job. So that's kind of something that you do want to ask is, are they in real estate full time? Because if you are juggling real estate on top of something else, it is very hard. And it's something that I did for 3 years, and I lost a lot of hair from trying to juggle both. It was a lot of work and it was hard because a lot of people think real estate is kind of easy. And for the most part, that couldn't be further from the truth. It's hard and it can be easy at times, but for the most part, to be consistent and have these plans in place that really maximize exposure on homes and getting the most amount of money for them, it is something that does take a lot of work. The second question that you can ask is, what is your average list to sell price? And this has a ratio. So it would be, if closer to 100 if you are selling a home, the better. And then less than 100 if you are working as a buyer's agent is the better. So it just shows that your negotiating skills are strong. The ratio does really depend on the market. So if you're looking at the ratio in the Greater Toronto Area right now, it should be over 100% because listings are being priced low to induce multiple offers, to get tons of traction in the door, to get those firm offers through that are just ridiculously overpriced. And that's just how the market is right now. So if you saw somebody that had 100% as a ratio in this market, that might not be good, considering some homes are selling 10% over what they're being listed for. And on the average, everything is selling higher. So in this market, you would want more than 100% for sure. In a buyer's market, it might be a little bit of a different story, but at the same time, you do want to price homes accordingly. So if you are pricing homes and you're selling for 90% of what the price was on that home, then that just means it wasn't priced right from the start. If you are selling homes and they're at 99% or 100%, 98%, in and around those brackets, then it just shows that you're a strong negotiator, and it would balance over the long run. So that would be, the higher percentage would be the better. The third question that you can ask is, what is your marketing plan or strategy for your property? And this is kind of important because you want to make sure the photography, how's the photographers that agent has been using. I know with myself, like I bring photographers from Mississauga because I've used them ever since I first started, and I've always been happy with their finished product. And so that's very important to make sure that it's not just be an agent taking pictures with their cell phone, because in markets like this, people want the homes to be attractive and inviting to come in. And when sometimes you see listing pictures that are really dark, or they're really small compared to how big the picture can be, or it's been taken with the up and down, I think that's called portrait mode, that's not going to do justice for the home. So you want to make sure that photography is on point. And then you want to look at staging. Is staging going to be involved? Is it going to be a staging consult? The staging consult normally would be up front so that it gives the time for you to make the alterations up front. And then if there's going to be furniture, artwork, different decor items brought in, that they actually have a spot to go. A big part of a marketing plan would be how are they going to leverage social media? So different things that you can post listings onto would be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and you can actually run boosted ads where it's, they have the algorithms in place so that your listing would be put in front of people who are looking to move to a specific area. It's amazing how much information Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, all these different social media platforms really have on their users that, based on a specific search criteria, when I'm putting in a Facebook ad, I can have my listings put in front of people who are, if it's a first-time home buyers type home, first-time home buyer, and you look at areas, so I know with the Durham region, a lot of people are moving from Toronto. So I would focus people who live in Toronto, and depending on the house, they're between 25 and 35 years old, and you can really pinpoint it very specific. So you can have your ad put in front of 1,000 people that are all people that are looking to move to Durham. And if you just post it to realtor.ca, then it's hard in terms of getting that exposure to make sure that you're having tons of showings, tons of offers, and you're just going to be happy with the overall experience. You should know how the home is going to be marketed, and you're going to want to know the pricing strategy. That's market dependent, so if it's a buyer's market, then obviously you can't price it high or super low to get all these multiple offers. If it is a seller's market, then it's pretty much you have to follow what the market is saying to do. In a standard market, if you price it high, you're going to have less showings. If you price it low, you're going to have tons of showings, but then the offers, you're going to have a good mix between really low and mid-range offers. If you price it right, you're going to have more solid offers. So they're going to be the ones that will come in closer to list price, and you'll just get maximum exposure on your house. The fourth question that you can ask is, can you provide references? So you may not need this if the agent is well known on Google, for instance, and they have a lot of reviews. But if you search through that agent's information on the internet and you don't really come across many reviews, checking references could be a way to just ensure that that agent is going to take full care of you, because there's nothing wrong than seeing agents get these listing appointments and they sign the buyers or the sellers based on like a lot of promises, and then when push comes to shove, they don't offer many services. And if you have a pattern of doing that, then you're not really going to have good references when it comes to people asking, such as yourself, just to make sure that the agent has kind of done what they said they're going to do. The fifth question that you can ask is, what separates you from the competition? So this is a question that a good agent won't be able to, they won't even hesitate to answer that question. They're going to speak with confidence, and another agent that maybe doesn't have the confidence in listing a home, they might stutter a little bit with this. They might not talk with very much confidence, and that's kind of like a question that allows you to kind of feel it out. A good agent should be able to fire off several reasons and why they're kind of separate from the rest of the competitors that are out there. Most consumers say that they're just looking for agents who, saying that they're going to be honest and trustworthy and assertive, and they're excellent negotiators. Another part, it would be like communication. I can't stress enough the whole communication, answering phone calls. I've been as a buyer's agent and a listing agent, and as a buyer's agent, it drives me nuts when I can't get a hold of a listing agent if I have questions about an offer or trying to get into a property last minute. And then vice versa, as a seller's agent, I've had it where it was just agents were so shocked that I was able to answer the phone, and they're just not used to that. And so that's one thing you want to make sure that they're going to be assertive and they're going to respond to emails and calls and text messages, because it's very important that if there's questions that they get answered, and it's not something that just builds up and then kind of never gets to. Other things that they might say is that they are always available, good communicators, and they're able to maintain a sense of humor during trying times. And in real estate, there's going to be times where you as a seller are going to be stressed out, and you just need an agent who's not going to be stressed out along with you. It can be a battle at times, and you just want to make sure that the agent is able to maintain his composure or her composure to ensure that their feelings don't get involved with this, and it's a business. And the reason why people hire realtors to represent them is because a realtor can take emotion out of the whole transaction. They're dealing with the facts, and the agents are kind of negotiating back and forth on behalf of the sellers and the buyers, and there's no emotion involved. The emotion comes through with the seller to the listing agent, or the emotion comes through from the buyer to the buyer's agent. So that way, when the negotiations are happening between the sellers and buyers, there's no emotion. Sixth question that you should be asking, or could ask, would be if you can review the documents ahead of time. So this is something where a good agent, they will be able to provide you with all the documents up front, and they're not going to push you to sign now. They will, give you the day or two to review them. I know I've done that in the past where people, it's a big deal selling the homes, and there's lots of forms, so they want to be able to go through them on their own time. So I'll just pre-fill them out, send it over to them. They can look through, and then once they're okay with everything, I just send it through DocuSign, and it's all signed electronically. But this way here, it makes sure that people, they have the time to review everything to make sure, what the commission is. Because, sometimes people might try and pump in a higher commission, or a listing agent takes a higher commission, offers the buyer's agent a lesser of a commission. So if that's the case, you just want to be aware of it. So if everything is being filled up front, you have time to go through it. Odds are you might catch things that maybe a sneaky agent might throw in there. And I can't say it happens a lot, but it is something in the past that I've dealt with, where I went on a listing appointment with somebody who, they had interviewed other agents, and they got pushed into signing an agreement in that spot. And it was a handwritten agreement just to go and show how pressureful it was. And that's not something that you want. You want the time to review everything, to go through, make sure that you understand what you're signing. The seventh question would be, how would you help find other professionals for you to use? And why I say that should be a good question is because as a seller, you're going to need the services of either a mover, a lawyer, painters, handyman, like you name it. There might be tons of different trades or services that you're going to need. And for the most part, realtors will build a Rolodex of people that they've used in the past that have done a good job. And one thing you want to make sure for this is that the realtor is not getting any kickbacks. So I know sometimes tradespeople or mortgage brokers, they offer kickbacks to the agents in order to refer business to them. And that's where you can get a little iffy. And sometimes agents are really upfront with it, where it's just like the bank has a program if I refer people to them, which is fine. But you just want to be aware if that's the case, because I know with myself, when I'm referring people to my different trades that I've used, it's based on work. It's not based on the kickbacks or anything like I get. I don't think I've actually gotten a kickback on anything that I've ever referred out. I just want to make sure that my clients are being taken care of. And that is so much more important than receiving a few $100 here and there. Our eighth question, we're almost getting to the end, but these are hopefully good questions that you're enjoying. If you forgot, maybe subscribe to the channel, like the video. It helps keep me motivated to keep pumping out new videos for people. But our eighth question that you can be asking is, how much do you charge for your services? So this is important to know. What are the fees that are going to be associated with it, and what does it include? So I know pretty much it's standard 2.5% plus HST goes to the buyer's agent, and then 2.5% plus HST goes to the listing agent. And so that totals 5% plus HST. For the most part, it includes staging, photography, marketing. It includes everything. So that's kind of what you're looking at from a realtor standpoint. There is a big range total commission wise, where sometimes listing agents will sell your home for 3.5%. Other times it will be 6%. So there is a range, but I would say the industry standard right now sits at about 5%. And one thing I've noticed is you kind of get what you pay for. Usually, if you're selling your home and your house needs to be staged and you're more concerned with saving 1% on the commission, if an agent was going to stage your home but charge 5%, then you probably would have made a lot more on the sale of your house than that 1% commission. And that's just a little tip that I can give towards that sometimes the best commission isn't always the best deal for you. Our ninth question is, what kind of guarantee do you offer? So I don't mean in terms of, your house sold in 30 days or I'd buy it. I'm talking more if you change your mind or you're not happy. Then in that case, what's going to happen? Because I know some realtors, they have it where they won't terminate a listing agreement and they'll just keep it in place. So if you're not happy, you're kind of stuck for the 90 days or, whatever term you kind of signed on the initial listing agreement. So you just want to make sure up front what everything will kind of work out to be. And on the flip side to that, if you do have a realtor who's provided staging and photography and done everything, and then you kind of change your mind on wanting to sell, that's where it might get a little iffy in terms of, who's going to be responsible for paying for that? Because that could be thousands of dollars that a realtor is out by, providing all these services just to have somebody change their mind, which is completely fine. It's just something that you want to know your rights at that point and what's put in that contract. Now, just to backtrack a little bit to that, your home sold guaranteed or I buy it, it is something that happens, and you just, with those guarantees, you want to make sure you read the fine print, because sometimes it is, a structured price reduction until a certain point, and then after that point, then the agent will buy it, and it's usually at a pretty big discount of a price so that they're able to sell it quickly. So they don't actually even close on the property. They'll just kind of assign it or offer it off as a wholesale deal. The 10th question, it would just be an opportunity for you to ask that agent, what haven't I asked you that you think I should know? And if a realtor was listening to you as you were talking about your motivations behind selling, or some of the things that you might be worried about, it will give them an opportunity to maybe pinpoint things that you didn't think about. And if an agent said, nope, you kind of asked it all, you just want to make sure that there's not other stuff that you should know. And in this case, most decent or good realtors will be able to provide you with more information that you probably didn't ask. So our bonus question is the question that I get asked all the time, and it's something that is, how many homes have you sold in my neighborhood? And my answer to this is always the same, because when you're dealing with specific realtors for specific neighborhoods, then there's some where it's like they only list in a certain neighborhood. Then there's others that kind of list all over the place. And I fall into that category of being a realtor that sold farms in Owen Sound to cottages in Midland to detached homes in Burlington, duplexes in Oshawa, condos downtown Toronto. So it's pretty much whatever the property has been, I've been able to sell it. So I think more so in understanding the marketing plan, getting the references, that's probably more of an important question to ask rather than how many homes you've sold in a specific neighborhood, because just because you've sold a lot of homes in a neighborhood doesn't mean you're selling a home and making the sellers happy. And that's the number one thing that you just want to make sure is that you are going to be happy with the sale of your home. Well, that concludes the video. I hope you enjoyed it and that it helps you. If it does, please like it. That way it lets me know people are enjoying the content that I'm putting out there, and it motivates me to pump out more information for people that are looking to buy or sell real estate in the Greater Toronto Area. If you forgot at the beginning, subscribe to the channel, click that little bell. That way you get notified each and every time I do post videos or I go live. And it's just something that as my subscriber base grows, it keeps me motivated to keep putting out videos for everybody who's looking to buy or sell in the Greater Toronto Area. I have so many people that are reaching out, and I absolutely love it. So if you are looking to buy or sell in the Greater Toronto Area, you can call, text, email, send the carrier pigeon, whatever is easiest for you. And I'm here to make your move, relocation, sale, everything goes so much easier. Thanks for watching, and until next time.